4, 3, 2.
Hello, welcome to Doodle Club. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is day 3. On day 1, we did stickmen and faces, and day 2, we did stickmen and landscape, using lines for landscape. Doodle Club, we are here during the COVID season to have some fun, doing some doodles that will help you with your school notes. So this is a great excuse to have some fun and call it school and education, okay? That's the idea. Let's have some fun together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story, and then you're going to doodle while I tell you the story. Then we're going to share our doodles with each other. You can see the other children and adults doodles. We've got adults here, we've got children, we've got teenagers drawing at the same time. And then we'll learn from each other's doodles, and I'll tell you the story again. You'll doodle some more, and then we'll look at some more doodles, and I might get a child to retell the story using their doodles, because one of the reasons I'm doing this for you children is to give you a taste of how useful it is to do doodles in your school notes, and how doodles are so useful to help you concentrate, to help you understand, and help you explain your ideas. Now, I know sometimes when children doodle, teachers are like, oh, stop doodling, that's distracting you. But you and I know, actually, doodling can really help you concentrate. And if you choose the right doodle, then it can help you concentrate better. So today I'm going to share with you a little doodle tip. So show my screen down here, please, Joanna. Okay, so first day we talked about stickmen are so useful. And then if you add eyes onto the stickmen, you get an animated little face and man. And it's really easy to doodle quickly with stickmen. But what happens when you add a line? It means you can add the landscape and you can add more to the story with one simple line. Now, today, I'm going to ask you what happens when you take a stickman with some eyes and you get the face, and then you've got the landscape like a man on a mountain, and then you've got some movement. Well, what happens is, if you do these little lines here, a simple little technique, it makes you feel like he's moving in this direction, or he's moving in that direction, or the car is moving in this direction. So that's your tip for today. And I'm going to tell you a story today that's got a little bit of movement in it. And let's see what Dude, our character, has, what design I've got for you today with Dude. So this is Dude. We've got Doodle, and I'm choosing a different color today. So Dude, you can draw with me if you want. Doodle. Club. Now, let's put some eyes on Dude. And what's Dude doing today? Dude is running. Okay, and we'll give him an earring for today, which is number 3, day 3. Right, you ready for your stories? Thumbs up if you're ready for your stories. Joanna, can you spotlight me for a moment and do the grid view, please? Great, I can see your thumbs. Adults and children, fantastic. Here we go, here's the story. A long time ago, in Italy, a country within Europe, there was a town called Atri. There still is a town called Atri. And in those days, many, many years ago, I don't actually even know if this story is true, but this is the legend of Atri, okay? What happened was the king decided that it was important that the people in his kingdom, in all the towns, got swift justice. Because in the towns, there was a lot of people being wronged, a lot of stealing, a lot of bad behavior, a lot of people upset. So he came up with an idea. And what he got built was in the middle of the town of Atri. He built this little tower. And on the top of the tower, he put in this most beautiful bell, a brass bell. And from the brass bell, he hung this rope that reached almost to touch the ground. Now, the people of Atri didn't know why the king was doing this. Well, when it was all finished, this mystery was about to be revealed. All the people gathered around in the central square, and they watched as the king came in and got ready to present the bell. Now, the people thought to themselves, maybe the king's going to ring this bell, and maybe there's something special about the bell. And the king stood up and he said, I am not going to ring this bell, because this bell is a special bell just for you. This bell is the bell of justice. Whenever something goes wrong in your life, someone steals from you, someone treats you badly, someone treats you unfairly, you come to this bell, whether you're an adult or whether you're a child, and you ring the bell. And the people thought, right, what happens when I ring the bell? What happens when you ring the bell, the king said, is that the judges of the town will come straight out from whatever they're doing, wherever they're working, because the judges didn't always work as judges. They were like firemen in little towns. Whenever there was a problem, the judges would sit and judge. So when the bell went, the judges would come out and they would stand at the bell, and the person would say what had gone wrong. And the judges would pull that person and both parties together and give them swift justice. Well, the king left, and that bell rang and it rang and it rang day after day after day. When someone in the market unfairly weighed something, or someone was charging too much, or some children were being treated badly, or people were getting drunk and breaking things and so on, these sorts of things were all brought. But the interesting thing is that day after day, after a month or two, the bell started to ring less and less. And what happened was that the people in the town that would not change their ways ended up leaving. And the others realized the joy of living by the law. And the lawless people started to leave Atri. And eventually what happened was people started to forget when the last time it was that the bell was rung, because people settled their differences before they had to ring the bell. It was wonderful. But the rope got very old and rotten with the rain. And so one day they had to replace the rope, but they didn't have a replacement rope. It had to be specially made and ordered. It would take a couple of weeks for it to come. So they made a temporary rope out of grapevines, and they wound them together, tied them to the bell, and the grapevine hang right to the floor. So it was long enough even for a child to ring the bell. Well, everything was going along as before, until the people of the village heard the bell ringing, and it rang and it rang and it rang, and it just kept ringing. And everyone came out to see what on earth was happening and what injustice had been dealt this person. And they looked and they didn't see a person, they saw a horse. There was this old, thin, mangy, starving horse that was eating the grapevine. And as he was eating the grapevine, he was pulling and tugging at the rope, and the bell was ringing. Well, the judges all rushed to the bell, just like before, And there they saw the horse. And they looked at the horse and they said, it's terrible what's happening to this horse. Look at that horse. It's in such poor condition. What's happened with that horse? One of the judges says, I know this horse. I think this horse has been thrown out by its own owner because it's old. And this rich merchant has thrown out this horse to go and find its own way, and it's got no food. And they said, well, this is an injustice, and go send for that man. And so they sent for the rich merchant who owns that horse and decided to throw it out. And the rich merchant stood there in front of everyone, and he said, is this your horse? And he said, it is. Did you throw this horse out? And he said, I did. I am so sorry. And he was mortified. He realized the wrong he had done. And so the judges agreed with him that he should get a fine, and that he should take this horse back in and feed it till the end of its days. And he gladly agreed, and justice was served. And the people in Atri used to be are so proud, because they said, even in Atri, the horses get justice because of our bell. And do you know what? In Atri, if you go to that town in Italy to this very day, you can go there, and visitors visit there, tourists. They go to the town of Atri, they go to the center, and they can see the little tower with the bell and the rope there to this day. And that's the story of the Bell of Atri. Did you enjoy that? Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. How many stars would you give it out of 5, that story? 3 out of 5, 5 out of 5. We've got 5s. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Right, let's look at some doodles, Joanna. Show me some doodles. The watchers would like to see some of these doodles on YouTube. Now we've got a timeline here. Let's see it. Yeah, turn it around. Thank you, Eleanor. I can see the horse coming up, and I see the rings. I think that's kind of like the rings of the bell. And oh, I can see the people with the little lines running towards. Very nice. Who's next? You did the movement. Well done. Oh, we've got a movement there. Some people talking to each other at the top. I love the noses on your stick man and the horse. Love it. Excellent. There's so much in this. And what's next? Yes. Oh, this is upside down, I think. We've got Alfie. Love it. Well done. Who's next? Oh, we've got a real landscape in the middle here. Someone moving. I can see that. The clouds. Love it. The bell. Love it. Great. Keep going. The bell of justice. I love it. Lawless, horse, Andrew. You put some words. Oh, you've even got the Italian flag in there. And you've got the people running. Love it. Oh, a lovely tower. Now that is a very Italian tower, I have to say. I will not ring it, says the king. Oh, and the vine dangling down from there. Lovely. Fantastic. Who's next? Let's do another 2, please. Excellent. Oh, that's an interesting stick man with the bending down head. Love it. Oh, that's the judge. Oh, and the boot for Italy. Love it. And a very thin horse as well. Excellent. Thank you. Who's next? Another bell, 2 bells of Atri. We've got a number. Oh, there's the king. There's the crowds. There's the horse pulling it. Fantastic, Leah. Who's next? Oh, we've done our 2. Let's retell the story. Oh, we'll come back to these. Let's retell the story, and you can add more things into it. Ready? Steady? The Bell of Atri. A long time ago, in the country of Italy, a new king was appointed, and the new king was passionate about justice. And he felt that everyone should get swift justice. And so he had an idea. He built a bell in the center of every town. And in this town of Atri, he built this bell No one knew what it was until it was finished. It had a big long rope that reached nearly to the ground, so a child or an adult could pull it. Anyone could pull it. He came to the town and everyone crowded round wondering what it was all about. He said, I'm not going to ring this bell because this bell is for you. Only ring this bell if you have been wronged and you need a judge to help you put it right. And so the people realized that if they rang that bell, the judges would rush out from whatever they were doing and hear your case and bring swift judgment and justice. And so from the time the king left, that bell rang a lot. If there was someone who felt that they had been treated unjustly, someone who overcharged, someone who'd stolen from him, children who had been harmed, that sort of thing, what happened was they would ring that bell, the judges would come out, and they would sort it out. Well, it wasn't long before those people who chose not to change decided it was too hard to live in Atri. And so the lawless people decided to just move to somewhere easier to be lawless. And the people that were left in Atri were those who decided to settle things well. And so eventually, they hardly ever heard the bell ring. Well, the bell sat there unrung for years. But the rope started to rot. And so they decided that they needed a new rope, and it would take a couple of weeks to get the new rope made. And so they tied a vine to the rope and let it hang to the ground. Well, one day, the bell rang furiously. Furiously, it just didn't stop ringing. Everyone heard this bell and thought, the bell of Atri is rung. What is happening? And crowds from the town gathered around the bell, and there the judges had appeared. And standing there, pulling the vine, was a horse eating the vine. It was starving. It was thin and scrawny. It was homeless. And the judges looked at the horse and said, this horse has not been treated well. What's wrong? What's happening here? Why is this horse wandering around? And the judge said, I know where this horse is from. And they got the rich merchant who owned this horse to come and stand in front of them. And he told them the story of how he had let the horse go out because he didn't want to pay for the food anymore. And so the judges said, do you admit what you've done is wrong? And he said, yes, I am. And he was mortified. And they said, will you put it right? And he said, I will. I'll take the horse back in and feed him till his last day. And the judges also gave him a fine. And so to that day, all the villagers left, and the townspeople left and said, they were so proud because they said, even horses get justice because of the bell of Atri. And to this day, you can go to that town and see the bell with the rope in Italy. So let's look at some of these doodles. Joanna, keep them coming. Great. We've seen, yes. Lovely. Who's next? Show me Zeus's, because we stopped at Zeus's. Thank you, Eleanor. This is fantastic. Oh, Zeus. Zeus works at Bullet Map Academy. He's one of our illustrators. That's you showing off. That's fantastic. Love the bell. Love the moving in the central image. That central image is fantastic. Who's next? Okay. Yes, I love how you've put that big bell in the second telling. You've summarized it. If you looked at this picture once, you would see what that is. Who's next? Fantastic. We've got some shaking there from Andrew on the bell too. Lawless. And I like the equals and the people leaving. That's really great storytelling. Very simple lines. Who's next? Oh, wow. You've colored it in as well. Great impact. Colored in the horse too. Who's next? This is great, guys. This is great. Well done. Ada, well done. Good. Who's next? Now, I wonder, hands up, who would like to retell the story with their doodle? Put your hands up on your page if you would like to retell the story. I can't promise everyone, but I'm going to choose one of you to retell it using your doodle. Any volunteers, adults included? No volunteers. Gilda, we haven't seen yours. I can see yours now. Justice with the people's hands around. I like that. Fantastic. Fantastic. Loving it. Okay. Well, if no one wants to share their story, that's no problem. Guys, that's the end of Doodle Club for today. There's one thing I would like you to do for me. One thing. And do you know what it is? Take a video or a photo of your doodle, and ideally take a little video of it, put your camera over it at the end of this, talk through the story and send it to your granny or grandpa or someone else that's older, that's maybe shut away during this COVID season like we all are, maybe on their own. Send it to them either by WhatsApp or put it up on Facebook and tag them in it, or your parents can sort all of that out, or maybe you can. Talk them through it and send it to them. And if you don't want to do the video, take a photo and send it to them, because it really is very touching when young people send doodles and pictures to us. You can't do it too often. If you did it every single day for the next 30 days that we're doing Doodle Club, well, actually 27 days that we're doing Doodle Club, then it will warm their heart every day. That would, has anyone done that yet? Put your hands up if you've done that yet. Oh, we've got 2 who have done it. Great. 3 who have done it. 4 who have done it. Brilliant. So I'd like to see more of those hands going up. So keep doing it. Don't just do it once. Keep doing it. Keep sending it to them. Inspire and encourage other people with your work. So well done, guys. We are going to go off Facebook Live and then chat together for a few minutes. And in 5 minutes or so, I'm going to do parents' coffee time, where the parents and I will all meet together and we'll talk about dyslexia for a bit. See ya.
Wave your hands, guys. Bye.
Bye. Yes, wave. Bye-bye.
Can't hear you.
Bye-bye.